Good afternoon, students. In previous class, we have studied about the political parties. Okay, so in that we have understood that why there is a need of the political party. Okay, now we have discussed the important characteristics of the political party. In that, we have discussed that a political party come into existence when there is a need of um, solving some issues by the people. So, some people, when they want to compete with the political parties, then they want to compete to the political power, they come into the existence, they form an organization and they elect, take part in elections and come into as a form of the political party. Okay. Not only so we understood the political party and their purpose. Now, in this chapter, we are going to study about the social and political movement. Okay, now in the newspaper, news channels, you might have seen many movements. For example, somewhere we see the movements of related to child welfare, child education, then for eradication of the superstition. Okay, then a movement against child marriage, then infanticides. Okay, these are the so now we are going to discuss about different movements. Okay, so why this movement come into existence, how this movement come into existence, we are going to study all this in detail in this chapter. Okay, so now from the picture only you can understand this moment where many people come together and they start doing something different from the day-to-day life. Okay, it can be for at very low level also and high against the higher authority also. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the movement. So first is why movement. So why there is a need to the movement. Okay, now we already know that political parties come into existence to solve many problems, but these problems are comprehensive. Political parties do not work only on one problem, but it has to work on different problems in the society. Okay, so sometimes what happen, some people some part of the society is not getting the proper benefit of the government. Okay, so they come into the existence, they come and they start organizing a organization. Okay, so when different people who cannot participate in the political parties for the social welfare. So what they do, they come together, they organize people and try to pressurize the government to resolve their issue. Okay, their issue means society, the issue of the society. Okay, so when they come, they follow their issue constantly and build public opinion about it, and that is why they pressurize the political party and the government to work on it. So it is called as a movement. This type of organized activity is called as movement. Okay, now organized activity is a very important, is the essence, important feature of any movement. If organized activity is not there, so movement cannot be successful. Now recently we get the news of the CBI related to Sushant Singh Rajput's death case, that CBI investigation is must. So for that, many people come on. So different agitations have been done, and different petition we have signed on social media sites. So these are the different, it is a it is one of the type of the movement, okay, which we can see in the present scenario. Okay, so now why these movements are very important? They are very important. Why? Because many social problem, okay, there are many social problem which cannot get uh, a chance to come out in the society. So all this movement drag our attention to all those problems, and thus it helps to resolve those problems. Okay, and many different policies have been made for different movements which took place in India. Okay, now not only this, not only that movement only work for the social welfare. Some movement sometimes goes against the different policies of the government also. That also we have studied in our history. Okay, the base example is the Naxalist movement is one of the example where the people goes against the rules of the government, policies of the government. Okay, it's just an example. Okay, there are different movements come into existence. The people come into existence, they form an organization and try to resolve different problems. Okay, now let us discuss the second question. What is a movement? Now we discuss why movement. Okay, why movement took place to resolve the social problem. But what movement is actually? The first is, it is a collective action. People come together. People's active participation is very important in this thing. Okay, so collective action of the people is called a movement. Then second, interest of particular issue. Okay, when there is a particular issue come into existence, then people form a movement and they come sorry, people come together and they form an organization to solve the issue. For example, the issue of the pollution, the issue of the terrorism, issue of the corruption, and many different things. Okay, then a focused problem, the third, when there is a social particular objective or a focused problem. A best example for this focused problem, our India is badly getting troubled by the corruption. Okay, so one of the problem which we can take into consideration in this context is corruption. Okay, so the aim of that movement is to solve or to resolve, to completely end the corruption. Okay, after that, now if there is a movement, so it is very important that there should be leadership. Okay, if there is no leader, people cannot organize. Okay, and if the leader do not have the leadership quality, so when different people come with different ideology from different scenario, so if the leadership is not proper, so it will the people can agitate against the leader too. So it is very important that leadership quality is very strong. Leader should be very strong. He or she is able to uh, ma- uh, make others to understand and accept its own objective. Okay, he or she should be active and keep the movement to active. Okay, now what different objectives of the movement, program of action, strategy of agitation, these all should be decided by the leader only. So if the Strong leadership is not there, so it cannot be implemented effectively. So it is very important for implementation of the movement effectively. The leadership should be strong. Then influenced by the organization. Okay, organization is very must for a movement. Okay, without an organization, it is difficult to follow up the issue. For example, the issue of the farmer, the issue of the tribal workers, which we have studied in the our in ninth standard English history chapter. Okay, different movement. Okay, so it is it the organization work for the solving the problem of the different issues. Okay, now the next thing, public support is very important. If there is a, if public is not supporting to the movement, then movement cannot be successful. Okay, so people should feel connected to issue that is undertaken by the movement. If issue is not uh, in favor of the public, so public will not support it. Am I right? So it is very important that public should support to the movement too. Is that clear? Okay, now here we can see some thoughts are given. If the human rights movement becomes influential worldwide, there is no need for other movements. But the problems in developing countries are of different nature. Different social, economic, and cultural condition may give rise to different movements. It's true. Otherwise, we would not have said save girls. We can get an experience of movement here itself. Can we start a movement to make the school surroundings safe for girls? Movements were suppressed during the British period, but in democratic system, existence of movement is an indicator of healthy democratic system. Okay, from this example, what we understand that yes, still we are living in a democratic country, in an independent country, but still there are many problems in the society. One of the problem is the problem related to the girls, related to their safety. So it is very important that we and you, why you? Because you are the future generation. You should raise your voice against some different social issues and try to resolve those. Okay, now we after this, now we have discussed what is the movement. Okay, so now we are going to discuss some important movements which have been took place in India. Okay, so in that first, which we are going to discuss is the tribal movement. Okay, now from the name only we can understand it is something related to the tribals. Okay, now what happened? Uh, in the pre-independence period, British government deprived tribal people of their rights to livelihood on the forest resources. Okay, means they are not able to use the forest as a resource. The tribals are not allowed to use forest as a resource during the pre-independence period. So there were tribal uprising. Uprising means we can say agitation or movement in different regions of the India. There are some regions are given that Kollam tribe Kollam from Chota Nagpur, Gond tribe from Orissa, Koli and Bhil and Ramusi from Maharashtra, Santhal and Munda from Bihar. So these tribals start uprising and their struggle continues for many years. Okay. Uh, these tribals face several problems, and one of the major problem which we have already discussed that they denied their right over the forest. So this is the very important point for which they are fighting again, or they started the movement. That is, the demanding that they have their right on the forest material, which forest belongs to them. Okay, for example, if Kolam tribe, this belongs to Chota Nagpur plateau, Chota Nagpur region, sorry, not plateau, Chota Nagpur region. So the people of that tribal people should have right to use all the resources of that area. Okay, and that was denied by the British government. So this agitation was started. And not only this, they should have the right to cultivate the crops on the forest land too. Okay, now you can see the image. This is the image of the Birsa Munda, who played a very uh, important role in this movement. Now the second movement is related to our farmers, the farmer movement. Okay, during the British rule, here also, during the British rule, farmers started getting organized due to anti-agricultural policy of the British colonial government. Okay, we have already know that uh, Britishers pressurized the farmer to cultivate the commercial crop. Okay, and different, and because of that, different movements have been took place. Okay, because they are suppressing the ideas of the farmers, they are not allowing to do farmers their own work by their own, by their will. Okay, so we have already discussed about the Bardoli Satyagraha, Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, then movements against the revenue collection. I hope you all are remembering all those things which we have already studied in previous classes. Okay, so these are the different movements which we have already studied. This movement deals with the farmers. Now, who inspired them? There is a need of inspiration for any moment. So the farmers movement was inspired by Mahatma Phule, Justice Rande, and Mahatma Gandhi ji. Okay, Mahatma Gandhi ji is famous for its non-cooperation movement, right? Now, after that, what happened? Slowly and gradually, some reforms have been done in the agriculture, and the farmers movement slowed down. But after Green Revolution, what happened? This movement again get active and effective. Why? Because of the Green Revolution, the policy of the Green Revolution, the gap between the rich farmer and the poor farmer get increased. Okay. Now, according to Green Revolution, there is a use of different fertilizers and machinery, and the poor farmer is not able to take all these things, and that is why there is a gap between the dissatisfaction of the poor farmer gain more, and that is why there is a movement again active and become more effective. Not only this, the price for the agricultural product, uh, and then agriculture is not treated as an industry. Okay, so there are different criteria were there. Because of that, this movement get into existence. So Swaminathan Commission came into existence. Okay, so what it implemented different programs for the welfare of the farmers. Okay, then they given the concession of the debt relief also, then debt cancellation too, for the benefit of the farmers. Then different organization have also started, for example, Shetkari Sangathan, Bharatiya Kisan Union, All India Kisan Sabha. These are the some organization, farmers organization come into existence. Now the next we are going to discuss about the labor's movement. Now when this movement get emerged, it emerged in the background of the industrialization. The textile and rail industries and railway companies established in the later half of the 19th century in India. Okay, we have already discussed about this, that workers go on strike for their demands. So the first organization, this strike was in the year 1899. In the year 1899, the railway workers goes on the strike. So the issues were resolved. Okay, and an organization has been established. First organization has been established in the year 1920. Okay, which is known as All India Trade Union Congress. Okay, now what happened in the post-independent era? These organizations become more and more effective and become more organized. Okay, so in the year 1960s and 70s, there were several agitations took place. Okay, then after that, globalization also affected a lot to the labor movement. Now, we all know that laborers face different problems. For example, unstable employment condition, their employment is not fixed. Okay, then the laborers are work on the basis of the contract. So if the contract have been finished, they have to face a problem. Now we can see the conditions of these laborers during this lockdown, how uh, brutally they get suffered, and somewhere, not everywhere, some contractor take care of their laborers, but some suffered a lot. They have to walk lot of miles to reach their houses. Okay, so from this we can see that they do not have financial security. Okay, and some in some reasons, uh, some legal protections were also not there earlier. Okay, for the workers, and during that time there were unlimited working hours. Now we have limited working hours, that they have to work 8 hours or 9 hours, but earlier it was unlimited. Okay, and because they do not have security also at the working place. There were some health hazards also, and so because of all these problems, there were agitations took place. And yes, these problems still, at some places, this problem also exists. We cannot say that 100% these problems have resolved, but yeah, it's resolved to a larger extent. Okay, I hope everyone have understood till that the labor's movement. Now let's move further. Women's movement. Now, in pre-independence period, progressive man in India initiated the women's movement. We already know the different names. Okay, for example, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Mercy Dondo Keshav Karve. Okay, then some women also get inspiration. The first and the very important inspiration is the Savitri Bai Phule, our first woman teacher in India, who built the first school, women's school. And she also built a well in her home for untouchables. She took care of the child widow. Okay, and another notable name is the Ramabai Ranade. You can see in the picture. Okay, so these all came into existence. These all people come and started different movement. For what? For eliminating injustice against the women and ending up their exploitation during the pre-independence period. Okay, and they want that women should also get a respectful life. The women earlier do not have a very respectful life. They were treated as second person in the society. They do not have equality as the men have in the society, as our India is a patriarchal society. So these people work for the welfare of the women to make this the create existence of women in the society, to give a proper place to these women in the society. Okay, so not only this, there were many different uh, cruel practices, we can say, were there in our society. For example, sati pratha. Now, what is sati pratha? Sati pratha, in the sense, when a person is died, so the woman have to uh, the wife has to sit on the funeral of the husband, and alive she has to be goes into the fire. This is called as sati pratha, which was very brutal, and there are many things have been done in the society to finish it. Then child marriage. Okay, that for that also the people work. Then many reforms have been done for the widow remarriage, woman education, right to vote, and different thing. Yeah, and yes, someone has given a very important point, that dowry system. Okay, dowry system is also a very uh, we can say it is a stigma to our society, that dowry system is a very big stigma. We have to remove it. Okay, and for that we only have to work. So different rules and regulations also made for the benefit for all these people, all these important things. And constitution also gives equal right to women, right, in all the field. Now in present society we can see women are everywhere, in military, in navy, then army, everywhere we can see the importance and existence of women. So we can say there is a change. The whole society is changing. Now we can see the change, and we have to continue this change in the future too. Okay, now not only this, the people also work. They also demanded that women should be treated as a human being. Okay, now what is the tendency? That the tendency was that the woman is made for work only. So this tendency should have been changed. Woman is also a human being. She also tired. She also can get ill. So we should treat her as a human being only. Is that clear, students? I hope so. Different organizations take initiatives and they make different programs, and they work for the different issues like the women's health, social security, financial independence, and empowerment. Okay, but still we are facing some problems. So we had to work for the equal education for women, then giving us status and prestige as a human right to the woman. And for that, students, We both have to work for that. Okay. Now the next moment, which is very important to leave, that is environment moment. Okay. So there have been, we already know that the environmental degradation is a very serious problem. Am I right? Now, why this environment is getting degraded? Because of us, because of our deed. Okay, we are deteriorating the environment by using different chemicals, by using vehicles. Okay, so what is our duty? For deforestation is also, yes, very good, Bhumi Prajapati, cutting off trees, that is called as deforestation. Deforestation is also one of the very one of the thing which make the environment degraded. Okay, and why there is a deforestation took place? Because of the urbanization, because of the industrialization. Okay, yes, it is very important that we should progress. We should establish the industries and the urban cities. But for that, we should not harm the, we should not harm environment. We should protect environment, and by this side, we should develop also. Okay, so it is very important that we should preserve environment, we should conserve environment, and for that different organization come into existence. We already know that United Nations also work for it. Okay, but we have to individually also work for this particular thing. Okay, so the environment movement, the people, the many Indian working at different aspects of environment. Okay, they are working for the issues like the protection of biodiversity, protecting water sources, then protection of the forest, pollution of the river. Now we already know that there is a plan has been made for the cleanliness of the river Ganga and Yamuna, and for the Yamuna, for the cleanliness of Yamuna river, that many industries have given notice that they have to stop leaving their chemical water in the Yamuna river, right? Yes, green belt protection. Yes, very good students. Use of the chemicals and their ill effects. So these are the different movements have been taken into existence, and we try to conserve our environment. And now, last but not the least, the movement is not going to stop here only. There are many movements are still, but we are going to just study just this much movement. Okay, so last but not the least, that is a consumer movement. Now, who is a consumer? Who consume a thing? Whoever consume a thing is called as consumer. So we are consuming the thing from the others. So we are consumer. So consumer movement emerged in India when the Consumer Protection Act came into existence in the year 1986. Okay, so after that the movement has started. Okay, now what the movement believe? The movement believe that each member of a society is a consumer. We already discussed that everyone is a consumer. When the prime minister is also consumer, and our local people also a consumer, because we all are consuming, we all are uh, customers. Okay, so now what happened? Because of the there is a changes took place in the social and economic system. So because of that, consumers face different problems. For example, adulteration, that the mixing of the different things we can. Recently, we get some news of that different things have been mixed with the this turmeric powder, chili powder, all these things. So adulteration, then the increase the cost of item. Yes, uh, products with expiry date, okay, fraud in the weight, okay. If sometime some shopkeeper, instead of giving 1 kg sugar, they just give 800 grams sugar. So it is fraud in a weight. Understood? So different acts, different programs also have been started. Okay, one of the program, Jago Grahak Jago, is a very famous program. Okay, we get some advertisement also on the national television channels, right? Jago Grahak Jago, you can negotiate or you can bargain on the MRP also. MRP issue, you should not give um, more price than the MRP is given, right? All these things which we have already gone through from different um, ages, different years, okay? So these are the different movements which come into existence to solve the different problems of the different sections of the society. So different movement increase the participation of the people in the public life. And this all started in post 1980s. So the post 1980 movement are called as neo-social movement, as their nature are different from the earlier movement. Earlier movement, the pre-independence movement, they are different, and the post-independent movements are different. So, according to the nature, they are called as neo-social movement. NEO, neo-social movement. Is that clear? Because these movements are based on some issues, and to solve those issues, many people come together and try to solve it. Okay, students, so I hope the lesson is understood by each and every student.